Hello, my name is the Jedi Smurf, and it is my pleasure to bring to you a tutorial on how to read tridimensional chess notation. Article 15, Algebraic Notation. TDCL recognizes for its own tournaments and matches only one system of notation, the algebraic system, and recommends the use of this uniform chess notation also for chess literature and periodicals. Score sheets using a notation system other than algebraic may not be used as evidence in cases where normally the score sheet of a player is used for that purpose. An arbiter who observes that a player is using a notation system other than the algebraic should warn the player of this requirement. Description of the algebraic system. Author's note. If there is no overlapping board, there is no need to indicate which board the piece rests on. This would always be true for files Z and E, unless there is an inverted board on the same pin, or both pins 3 and 4 are occupied on the same side. This would always be true for squares B1, B2, C1, C2, B7, B8, C7, and C8. 15.1. In this description, piece means a piece other than a pawn. 15.2. Each piece is indicated by an abbreviation. In the English language, it is the first letter, a capital letter, of its name. Example: K for king, Q for queen, R for rook, B for bishop, N for knight. N is used for a knight in order to avoid ambiguity. 15.3. For the abbreviation of the name of the piece, each player is free to use the name which is commonly used in his or her country. 15.4. Pawns are not indicated by their first letter, but are recognized by the absence of such a letter. Examples: E5. D4 neutral. A5 black. 15.5. The 6 files. From left to right for white and from right to left for black are indicated by the small letters Z, A, B, C, D, and E. 15.6. The 10 ranks from bottom to top for white and from top to bottom for black are numbered 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Consequently, in the initial position, the white pieces and pawns are placed on the first, second, and third ranks. The black pieces and pawns on the 9th, 8th, and 7th ranks. The three main boards, from bottom to top, are labeled W for white, N for neutral, B for black. The final board type is an attack board, which can be simply labeled with a capital X. 15.7. As a consequence of the previous rules, each of the 64 squares is invariably indicated by a unique combination of a letter and a number. 15.8. Each move of a piece is indicated by A, the abbreviation of the name of the piece in question, B, the square of arrival, C, the board of arrival. There is no hyphen between A, B, and C. Examples: Bishop E5, X. Knight B3 neutral. Rook D1 white. In the case of pawns, only the square of arrival and board is indicated. Examples: C5 black, D4 neutral, Z5X. 15.9. When a piece makes a capture, an X is inserted between A, the abbreviation of the name of the piece in question, and B, the square of arrival. Examples: Bishop takes E5X. Knight takes C3 white. Rook takes A1 white. When a pawn makes a capture, the file of departure must be indicated with the X inserted, then the square of arrival. Examples: D takes E5X. C takes D3 white. A takes B5 black. In the case of an en passant capture, EP is appended to the notation. Example: B takes C6 black, EP. .10. If two identical pieces can move to the same square, the piece that is moved is indicated as follows. If both pieces are on the same rank, but different files, by A, the first letter of the name of the piece, B, the file of the square of departure, and C, the square of arrival. If both pieces are on the same file, but different ranks, by A, the first letter of the name of the piece, B, the rank of the square of departure, and C, the square of arrival. If the pieces are on different ranks and files, method 1 is preferred. If the pieces are on the same rank and file, but different levels, by A, the first letter of the name of the piece, B, the level of the square of departure, and C, the square of arrival. In the case of a capture, an X must be inserted between B and C. Examples: there are two knights on squares B3 white and D3 white, and one of them moves to the square C5 neutral. Either knight B, C5 neutral, or knight D, C5 neutral, as the case may be. There are two knights on squares B3 white and B7 black, and one of them moves to the square C5 neutral. Either knight 3 C5 neutral or knight 7 C5 neutral, as the case may be. There are two knights on the squares B3 white and B3 neutral, and one of them moves to square C5 neutral. Either knight white C5 neutral or knight neutral C5 neutral. If a capture takes place on the square C5 neutral, the previous examples are changed by the insertion of an X. Either knight B takes C5 neutral or knight D takes C5 neutral. Either knight 3 takes C5 neutral or knight 7 takes C5 neutral. Either knight white takes C5 neutral Or knight neutral takes c5 neutral. If two pawns on different files can capture the same piece or pawn of the opponent, the pawn that is moved is indicated by A, the letter of the file of departure, B, an X, C, the square of arrival. Example, if there are white pawns on squares A3 white and C3 white, and a black pawn or piece on the square B4 neutral, the notation for white's move is either A takes B4 neutral, or C takes B4 neutral, as the case may be. If two pawns are on the same rank and files, but different levels, the pawn that is moved is indicated by A, the letter of the file of departure, B, the level of the square of departure, C, the square of arrival. In the case of a capture, an X must be inserted between B and C. Example, if there are white pawns on squares A3 white and A3 neutral, the notation for white's move is either A white, A4 neutral, or A neutral, A4 neutral, as the case may be. If a black pawn or piece is captured on the square B4 neutral, the notation for white's move is either A white takes B4 neutral, or A neutral takes B4 neutral, as the case may be. In this example, white has pawns on A3 neutral and A3 white. Black has a pawn on B4 neutral and a piece on B4 white, a knight. If white was to capture one of these pieces, logically the knight, notation would be as follows. A white takes B4 white, or A neutral takes B4 white. If two attack boards can move to the same pin, the attack board that is moved is indicated by A, the pin of departure, B, the pin of arrival. Example, if there are attack boards on pins XK1 and XQ3, and one of them moves to XK3, the notation for white's move is either 1 X3 or 3 X3, as the case may be. 15.11. In the case of the promotion of a pawn, the actual pawn move is indicated, followed immediately by the abbreviation of the new piece. Examples: C8 equals queen. A takes B8 equals knight. B1 equals bishop. X1 equals queen. 15.12. The offer of a draw shall be marked as an equal sign. 15.13. Abbreviations. Double O equals king side castling. Triple O equals queen side castling. Lowercase x equals capture. Plus sign equals check. Greater than sign equals discovered check. Greater than sign and plus sign equals double check. Minus sign equals forced move. Pound sign or plus plus equals checkmate. EP equals El Passant capture. Exponent sign equals capture of an attack board. Sample game. 1 B4 neutral. B5 black. 2 C3 white. A6 neutral. 3 knight C2. C6 black. 4 A3 neutral. A6 black. 5 A3 white. Bishop D6 neutral. 6 Bishop A2. Knight C7. 7 Queen B1. Queen B8. 8 Knight B2. Rook A9. 9 Rook A0. Kingside castle. 10 Rook A1 white. Knight B7. 11 Knight D4 white. A neutral A5 black. 12 Knight D3 neutral. D6 black. 13 Knight takes C6 black. Queen A8 black. 14 Knight A5 neutral. Knight takes A5 neutral. 15 B takes A5 neutral. A4 white. 16 Knight B4 neutral. A5 black. 17 Knight D3 neutral. And that will end our sample game. What would you do as black? Well, that concludes our tutorial on tridimensional chess notation. I'm the Jedi Smurf, and I thank you for your time. Thank you very much.